Yeah, I guess the meetings have been getting kind of smaller lately. So, yeah, do you think it'll be okay if I have like Dalmatians pop up once in a while?
Definitely, yeah. Okay, definitely good animals. Well, the dogs. It's good for good dogs. Okay, so so well, we turns out we can both give a insight into the history of this production. After Sleeping Beauty didn't do so well, Walt Disney was kind of forced to scale back on the animation, and entering into the 60s, things were going to start to get rather cheaper on the animation side, and a lot more effort was going to be put on Disneyland and live action stuff, and this one thing that he really had planned in the works, a experimental prototype community of tomorrow in Florida, namely Epcot.
What does that have to do
And
anything with the feature?
well, 101 Dalmatians was the kind of indication that this was not as grand of a scale as Lady and the Tramp or Sleeping Beauty, unfortunately.
Why do you make it sound like it's a bad thing?
Um, uh, well, by this point, we're starting to see a new medium emerge for animation. Well, not only was television starting to get anime commercials, but also there were it comes in a new format for animation, Saturday morning cartoons, and the primary target audience was children, where and they had much lower animation production budgets and values than what you see in the Disney animated movies. Um, so with the animation scale back, because all this other stuff was taking precedence, Disney had to find a way to more cost effectively make their animated features, starting with 101 Dalmatians, based off a book called The 101 Dalmatians by Dottie Smith, set in
Yeah,
a more contemporary version of London. And you can obviously tell from looking at the features that it has a more contemporary setting.
yeah. I was actually saw like two copies of the same book when I was joining mom with visiting one of my sister's mentors for like a musical thing, and and it looked like a pretty early one since they actually had like a Disney footage on the cover, and when it was said to be soon to be an animated film, and
That
I know,
is
right?
ancient, man.
No, yeah, I mean it was just like skimming through like the chapters, but I did really like the first two paragraphs of it, and I was just like smiling how they were describing the humans as their pets because that's exactly the same dog culture mindset we hear at the beginning as well.
Yeah. So so Disney had to find some way to better streamline the production process of making these animated films. Now, first off, you gotta have to stitch the widescreen stuff, but there was something else. It was called Xerox. Now, Sarah, is it okay if you tell the audience about Xerox and stuff, what they did?
Um, I don't know much about the Xerox thing, and
Oh,
I never even
I
like
kind
the
of thought I was going to give you a chance, you know?
no. Well, I was learning more about animation with computers by the time I got to the college courses.
Oh, all right. So, Xerox was a process invented by the Xerox Corporation to make perfect photocopies of of things on sheets of paper. and the primary target was office users, and the early days, Xerox 9414, as it was known, would weigh like 65 650 pounds or something like, I don't know, but it was big. It was kind of clunky for its coming from what we see now, but it was quite revolutionary back in 1959. So Walt actually did see a commercial for this Xerox thing where they actually put I actually saw it on YouTube. Can I is it okay if I show you the commercial in question?
Is it legal to show it?
It's just a really old commercial. I'm
So it's
not
like
sure if
public
it's
domain now.
I'm not here.
The third year in a row, one of our television spot announcements was termed the best spot of the year at the American Television Commercial Festival. This is the one. When we say the Xerox 914 makes copies on ordinary paper, we mean ordinary paper. For instance, office stationery. Or how about plain bond paper? Now, if that isn't ordinary enough, wait a minute. To prove the point, I'll cut up some brown wrapping paper. How much more ordinary can you get? If seeing is believing, let's actually make copies on our ordinary papers. So put them here in the paper loading tray. We push the on button. Let's make a copy of this page from a book. That's right, a page from a book. There goes the stationery, the bond paper, and the wrapping paper. Here comes the stationery and our bond paper and the wrapping paper. Perfect copies, dry copies. It takes an extraordinary machine to make copies on ordinary paper. The Xerox 914.
And Walt must have saw that commercial and believed, like every not sorry, I have to stop the sharing. Walt saw he got one of the little Dalmatians thing. Come on, show it up.
Yeah, like he likes to watch TV, remember?
Lucky, I know. So Walt saw must have seen that commercial, I believe, and he was like, you know what? If they could put all that type of paper into that Xerox machine, why can't I do the same with celluloid cellophane and paper? You know, the cell sheets that they used to make animation cells
Yeah,
on.
I know how cellular animation works.
So Walt decided he was gonna take one of these Xerox machines and put the drawing into the little scan box and then make cell prints, acetate cell prints of the animation drawings onto the cells. So
I thought it was reluctant to change the format of the paper stuff.
Yeah, but through this process, you were taking the ink out of the ink and paint process. So it's just one less that you have to do thanks to this machine. And this results in the rather sketchy look of the animation that you see in the film and some various subsequent Disney animated films, because they were using the Xerox process.
Yeah, for a long time to come. Like, please continue.
Okay, so so rudimentarily, Walt adapted this book as part of a simple subject. He couldn't really make it elaborately. And okay, so yeah, he basically yeah, I already told you about the Xerox process. So and as with the previous Disney films, he had actors provide live action references in order to determine what would work before the animation process began. Actress Helen and
But then they have like dogs being the central characters of the flick.
oh uh, yeah, I gotta get through this. Helen Stanley performed the live action reference for the character of Anita. She did the same work for the characters of Cinderella and Princess Aurora and Sleeping Beauty. Meanwhile, Mary Wicks provided the live action reference for Cruella de Vil. Now, Mary Wicks, the only notable role I can think of that she had before 101 Dalmatians doing the live action reference bit was playing the housekeeper in White Christmas, the Bing Crosby Danny Kaye movie that was like the first movie in VistaVision. And later on, she would actually voice a character in her senior career later on in another Disney movie. You'll have to find out what it was. So
Thank you for keeping it a secret.
yeah, Mark Davis was the sole animator on Cruella de Vil. During production, Davis claimed her character was partly inspired by Betty Davis and Rosalind Russell and Tallulah Bankhead. These like really old actresses that like something that he took.
Yeah, it's gonna be like something fashionista related.
Yeah, so he took further influence from her voice actress Betty Lou Gerson, whose cheekbones he added to the character, and of course, Australian actor Rod Taylor was cast as Pongo. Apparently, before this, he did this movie called The Time Machine, based off of George Orwell's novel. Like this really old.
That's like the 1960 adaptation. I think that's a sci-fi one. Most
Yes.
vintage movie watchers will be familiar with.
Yes. Oh, yeah, here we go. The filmmakers deliberately cast dogs with deeper voices than their human owners, so they add more power. Power to the animals. Okay, so yeah, Disney thought he could get Lisa Davis lead for the role of Cruella de Vil, but she didn't think she was right for the part and wanted to try leading the role of Anita. So Disney agreed with her after the two of them read the script for a second time, and Wolfgang Reitherman, who was one of the original 9 Old Men, he was the sequence director, and music was provided by Mel Levin, and previously Levin had composed songs for the UPA animation studio, in which animators who transferred to work at Disney had recommended him to Walt. His first assignment was to compose Cruella de Vil, of which Levin composed 3 versions. The final version used in the film was composed as a bluesy number before a meeting with Walt in 45 minutes, and somehow this aligns with Roger's character being a songwriter. And there were some other songs in here, and that was apparently there was like other songs that were originally going to be in the film, but nope, they're gonna cut it. So but it did mark a significant moment, the first instance for a songwriting duo to do work for the film but not having been in the movie. They were known as the Sherman brothers, Richard and Robert Sherman. They're gonna be very important in our later in our story. So so basically 101 Dalmatians was first released in theaters on January the 25th, 1961. The film was re-released theatrically in 1969, 1979, 1985, and 1991. The 1991 reissue was the 20th highest grossing film of the year for domestic earnings. And how much did it make at the box office? 14 million in the United States and Canada, which generates 6.2 million in distributor rentals. It was also the most popular film of the year in France, with admissions of 14.7 million, ranking 10th on their all-time list. And
Was this back in 1981?
I think this is the initial theatrical run, 1961, not 1991. Oh man. Adjusted for inflation and incorporating subsequent re-releases, the film has a lifetime gross of $900.3 million. And how did Disney, how did critics think of it? They kind of thought,
Yeah, there's gonna be 3 options as much. Okay.
well, they thought there was the closest to a real Disney film in years. Like they kind of thought it was the best thing since Snow White. Howard Thompson of the New York Times wrote, while the story moves steadily towards a stark melodramatic chase climax and remains enclosed in a typical Disney frame of warm family love, humor, human and canine. And Variety claimed that, while not as indelibly enchanting or inspired as some of the studio's most unforgettable animated endeavors, this is nonetheless a painstaking creative effort. And Time praised the film as the wittiest, most charming, least pretentious cartoon feature Walt Disney has ever made. Just to let you know, Sarah, even I honestly thought it was pretty good because the first time I actually remember seeing, believe it or not, the live action remake of the 90s, like that was in theaters. This is like before Disney went all in on the live action remakes. And being a 90s movie,
because it was a vintage cartoon that we first saw. I mean, we still have to be somewhere.
Yeah, I know. The 90s movie was well, when you think about, look back from a distance of like 27 years at the 90s movie, you kind of feel like, yeah, a lot of these 90s movies that weren't exactly the world's greatest, they aren't that bad. They're actually pretty fun. So and believe it or not, they promoted that film, the 90s film, like crazy, and the sequel. That basically Mickey D's had like a record 101 different Dalmatian toys.
You were trying to collect those as kids.
I don't know. It might have been. I'll take a lot of your. That'll make you so sedentary. and even the second film, Up the Ant, they had 102 different Mickey D's toys. Oh my gracious. I kind of see why Mickey D's had to scale back. Oh man. Oh, I cannot imagine going to Mickey D's 101 or 102 different times just to get.
And they also have like
those toys.
Special 100 Disney collectibles for like a 1902 anniversary celebration of whatever.
Oh yeah, that was the 100th anniversary of the birth of the man Walt Disney himself. Yeah, so that was pretty crazy. So yes, I love it, and it's I guess when you're looking at where they're going across the snow, it makes me feel nostalgic because I love snow. You know what I mean? Hello.
My tears froze and my froze and My toes are froze. Mhm. It's so adorable.
Yeah. So I know it's cold and stuff, but it gives you that warm feeling that you're about to hear Bing Crosby serenade on your radio.
Mhm.
Because I only know him for being the Christmas singer. Even though he did other stuff, I know
Yeah,
him.
we did it.
Yeah, no, yeah. So, what do you think about 101 Dalmatians, 1961?
I think it is, still a beloved, yeah, very watched film that's passed down to like the families. I mean, um, I think I saw pictures of my nephew Sullivan. His kindergarten class was celebrating like their 100th day of school, and they probably must have watched 101 Dalmatians because they're all just something like that. The Spots cartoons, and it's like the movie itself. It's like a introduction to grasp the meaning of the number 100, and it was certainly different. Yeah, favorite Disney flick of mine back in the VHS days. I mean, it's like you said, they may have probably did like a lot of promotional stuff. So I was like, leading up to the live action remake because I had like a special sixth birthday party back in Ohio. It was a Dalmatian party because my mom found like a special Disney VHS version where there was like Dalmatian theme birthday party. And I was led by like a lady with her Dalmatian stars helping out.
Oh, this is when I feel like Disney might have gone all out on the promotion or something like that for the 90s, like giving the fans certain things that they want, but then I can understand you probably wouldn't want to go to Mickey D's 101 different times just to get 101 different toys. So
No,
there's
we don't have
your
a whole collection, but we definitely have a lot. I mean, we were able to find the bag of the toys. It was like one of the bins that we brought back from the moves had said. So, but anyway, yeah. Yeah, when I was skimming through the original book, I think there may have been like only 3 of the original 15 puppies that had like that were named like there was a cat pig for like the runs of the litter, and you're already familiar with you know Lucky, the one lucky to be
I know.
alive. I mean, got like the 2 black ears and a distinctive spots pattern on the back that looks like a horseshoe. Mhm. And of course we got the porker Rolly, like roly poly. Mhm. Yeah, it's easy to spot him with like the 3 different spots on the ears as well as being chubby and mm. Yeah, my professor in the college, Adam Hart, wonders if it was like a nightmare for like these interviews to do like a multiple Dalmatians. Yeah, I mean, sure, I know with the spots. Yeah, it'd be easy to tell them apart since no 2 patterns are alike, but the redundancy could get easily lost there. So, and I even had like a additional name for the yeah other puppy characters that I had in mind. Like Freckles, Penny, Pepper, and of course Patch, which I believe is like the most well-developed character from the flick. I mean,
Yeah. As a matter of
yeah.
fact, this puppy,
Mm.
he's in the live action remake, the sequel to the live action remake. He's in the spin-off cartoon series, and he's also in the show that didn't exactly launch with a bunch of fanfare in the United States, but it is based off the same universe. It's called 101 Dalmatian Street.
Oh, you mean 101 Dalmatian Street? They actually showed that in Disney XD the years.
Oh, XD, yeah. So it's the same principle in the same universe. That was not quite particularly interconnected as you might want to think with all this superhero stuff. But Disney just had to keep on trucking away. Even so, he was not afraid to look back at the past in some ways.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
'cause I've seen like there was like, I think many of the Lady and the Tramp characters were seen as like, cameos for like the Twilight Howl.
Oh yeah, I've
Mhm.
actually seen that. It's like they're recycling the character models and the character sheets. They're starting to get a little cheaper here. They're like, yeah, we already have these other dogs. Let's just put these other dogs in the film just so we could save some money. And they did that. Here's a little end joke. The cartoon that they're watching on the TV, one with the flowers, that is an actual Disney produced silly symphony, and they're like, I think it's meta done right. I believe
How come we haven't covered that one yet?
because Disney is referring to itself. It's like they had a black and white silly symphony film playing on the TV in a Disney movie, and it's almost like, yes, this is how you do meta. It's like an in joke, but
it was like their earliest known Easter egg.
at least no Easter egg. That's kind of how you do meta right. Though not everyone would know everything about meta. I mean, I don't really think I know everything about meta. I know
Now
about.
you haven't sure if you're using the term right.
I don't think I'm. Oh yeah, it basically means you're referring to yourself. And Disney, when you're playing a Disney cartoon on a TV in a Disney animated feature, it's almost as if you're referring to yourself, but also you're also saving some money as if, hey, we already have all this back catalog. Let's just show one of our old cartoons on a TV as it is playing, and not have to bother with some crazy licensing issue or something like that. So they did that. They had that little library. They were starting to develop the library of Disney films.
And pretty soon, the vault.
Oh yeah, the vault. Man, yeah.
Okay.
I was even told,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I think I jump ahead of ourselves here. I mean,
yeah.
I was
So
thinking
um,
foreshadowing.
I was told that while Disney, I was told back in California that they discovered the original storyboards to Steamboat Willie in Walt Disney's desk. Kind of interesting how you think that if he was thinking so much about the future, like keep moving forward, it's kind of interesting how there was part of him that felt like he remembered the good old days. And I think playing that cartoon
like something that might be familiar with in a cartoon ahead.
yeah, well, I think he
So
might have.
can we please continue back with the movie subject?
Yeah. So as with the show within the movie Thunderbolt, that's almost like Lone Ranger meets Lassie type situation, like these really ancient shows, like Lone Ranger.
I would have been like modern in that time when the film was released.
Yeah, I know, more contemporary, but even at a
Yeah, I've heard that. Last I've heard, we're gonna do like a special DVD bonus of like the continuing adventures of Thunderbolt. That say where it from the last scene.
I might be on YouTube or Archive. I don't know, but I'll have to see if they actually did it. But regardless, it's a great film, and considering that a lot of people have dogs, they would enjoy this production as well. And I do realize that that despite the limitations, they still of scaling back with animation, just because animation was rather expensive, and they were putting more attention in live action in Disneyland. Kind of like
We get it.
They actually did a pretty good job. But Disney didn't only ditch animation. He still just kept trucking away, and turns out Disney was I don't know, he was starting to feel it felt like
Mm.
it felt like he was starting to get some health issues, because everyone in those days was
Yeah,
everyone
I
to a
what's
certain
that
degree
talking about
was
I think you're jumping a little ahead of yourself. Yeah, is there like something coming up next week?
everyone in that kind of certain day and age was either drinking or drinking cocktails or chain smoking, and Walt
Yeah,
Disney was
I'm pretty sure that's
fulfilled.
also very reflective with the contemporary film we saw.
Yeah, because those characters just puff it up like no one's business, and we live in a generation that's where
Yeah, we get it, Jordan. We get it. What's your point?
well Disney coming up, Disney would be next week. Walt Disney sees to completion his last animated film while he's still alive.
Okay, I think that's a good place to leave for tomorrow. I need to make my own dinner, and especially need to clean out the fridge for like another wedding I have to attend next Saturday.
Okay.
Anyway, yep, say goodbye to the puppies.
Hey, goodbye, puppies.
I
I know, I just wanted to give them a kiss.
know, right? I mean, no, yeah, I wanted like a Dalmatian as a kid, but that's like a they're like, very high energy working dogs. And I actually saw like a scene in QQ where there was like a triplet of Dalmatians. I mean, by 5 weeks old, I mean, there was like, the one brother that's trying to get some sleep, but one of the sisters like, squeaking on a squeaky door licensely, like, and the camera just know that like, walk stairs to avoid a sound.
I guess I just
It's
don't want to be.
really hard to keep a Dalmatian if even their own littermates drive each other crazy.
Oh, then
I know.
Roger and
I almost
Anita
forgot. I
really
got like a special sketch shirt.
Oh my golly, where'd you get that? That is so awesome.
Yeah, Disney Store original, I think, but it was like,
Oh man, oh man. That is some high quality merch right there.
yeah, I'm not sure about the quality, but it is a good throwback.
Yep.
Yeah, anyway, I gotta go find some dinner.
Okay.
See you next week.
Bye.